Okay. Seder ha-brochas v'hadloka. The order of the brochas and the lighting. Ha-madlik b'leil rishon, mevorach gimel brochas. On the first night, one who lights makes 3 brochas. First one is lahadlik ner Chanukah. Second one is v'she'os anisim. And the third one shachiyona, 3 brochas. V'lo berch zman b'leil rishon. And the bracha shachiyona is called zman. If he didn't make the bracha of shachiyona on the first night, mevorach b'leil sheni, he can make it on the second night, or he can make it when he remembers.
Numbers like the next morning?
So we're going to see, the Mishnah Berura is going to talk about when one can make it. Let's have a look at the Mishnah Berura of Koden Aleph. Ladei ner Chanukah. V'gemor v'chol haposkim isa ner shel Chanukah. He's going to talk about the nusach of the bracha. And the Shulchan Aruch says lahadlik ner Chanukah. The Mishnah Berura says the Gemara and the poskim write ner shel Chanukah. They add the word shel. The Kein Kosof Amar shal. Ach shekosof sheyomar shel la Chanukah b'milo achas. However, the Marshal says one should say shel Chanukah, one word. Ner shel Chanukah. V'lo shel Chanukah shtei milos. V'oilom ein noagim lakpid b'zeh. So there's a different minhagim. We have 3 different options here. Ner Chanukah, ner shel Chanukah, ner shel Chanukah.
Shel Chanukah?
Shel Chanukah.
One word.
That's one word. Shel Chanukah. That's how my father does it. That's how I do it. Shel Chanukah. That's one word. Everyone according to their minhag. Bizman hazeh v'loy uvizman. There's no vov. She'oso nisim lavisena by mahem bazman hazeh. Bazman hazeh, not uvizman, not uvizman hazeh. Without vov. V'giyonu lazman hazeh halamed b'chirk. So it should be lizman hazeh according to the Mishnah Berura. V'loy b'patach. Here the minhag, or the minhag olam seems to be the opposite. Like we say, Shachyon v'kiyonu v'kiyonu lazman hazeh. Most people say lazman hazeh with the patach. The Mishnah Berura says to say with the chiluk, with the chirik, lizman hazeh. Okay. Sivkot on Aleph, Sivkot on Beis, Oishe Kishiyizko. What does he mean when he remembers? Also, then Kishiyizko b'shar haleilos, b'shas hadloka. So the Mishnah Berura brings the opinion of the Levush that when he remembers, it means whichever night he remembers on. But he can only do it at the time of lighting. Shechona can only be made at lighting time. Preferably one makes it on the first night. If he didn't make it on the first night for whatever reason, he can make it on any other night at the time of lighting. If he remembers after lighting, he should not make it on this night. He should wait until another night when he lights. Okay, let's see Sif Beis. Sif Beis. Milei rishon ve'elech mavorach Beis lahadlik v'she'os anisim. From the second night onwards, one makes 2 brachas, just the first 2. He doesn't make the bracha of shachiyona. Shachiyona we make once at the beginning. The other brachas we make every night. All the brachas should be made before he starts lighting. Right? He should make them as he's lighting. He should make all the brachas when he's finished all the brachas, then he starts lighting. Says the Mishnah Berura of Koden Gimel. Shtayim lahadlik v'she'os anisim. The neis kol yom yisa. The reason why we make she'os anisim every single night is because there was a miracle, a neis every single night, and therefore we make the bracha every night. She'ikos ben yomim hidlik ben apach. The same small jar of oil kept burning every night. Every night was an addition to the neis, and therefore we make she'os anisim every single night. Shachiyona is about that we have arrived, we've made it through the year, we've made it back to this time of Chanukah. So we thank Hashem for bringing us back to the time of Chanukah. Once we've arrived back at Chanukah, we thank Hashem. That's it. There's no reason to make it again on the second night. Whereas the She'os Anisim is thanking Hashem for the neis. Every single night there was an additional neis, in addition to the miracle. Therefore we make She'os Anisim every single night.
There's a spare candle that people use. The shamash has its place. They use a separate, you should tape a candle that is used to light all of them, including the shamash.
Correct.
Can that be lit before the bracha?
Yes. Yes. Correct. Yes. That should be lit before the bracha. It should be lit before the bracha because then he can light straight away rather than having to strike a match afterwards. Yeah. Okay, where are we up to? Sivkotten Dalit.
So the time of Hanukkah encapsulates all the days of Hanukkah.
Yeah. Bring us to this season. Bring us back to this time of year.
Right.
I think it's something this time of the year, right? Yeah. Okay. Sivkotten Dalit. Couldn't she ask Chaladik, make the brachas before he starts lighting. The brachas over last year, and the brachas have to be done before the mitzvah. Right? We always makpid on this with all the because our mitzvahs, we always just say the bracha before doing the mitzvah. So if he lit the candles of Chanukah and he forgot the Chanukah lights and he forgot to make a bracha, he was in the middle of lighting and then he remembered. What should he do? He can still make all the brachas.
Is lighting the time from the time that you light the shamash, or from the time you're actually lighting the oil itself from the shamash?
Well, when should you make the brachas?
Yeah.
Before lighting the proper lights. The shamash is not counted. The shamash is not the mitzvah.
So you would light the shamash first, make the brachas, and then light the oil, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The candle he likes to light are the ones with the shamash. All those you can do beforehand. It's just because he hasn't done the mitzvah yet. The mitzvah only starts with the first proper nail that he lights, and that has to be done after the bracha. Okay, so as we said, if he remembered, let's say it's the fourth night and he's lit 3 candles, then he remembers he hasn't made the brachas. He can make the brachas before lighting the final candle, final light. If he remembers after he's lit them all, then he shouldn't make the bracha of lahadlik. However, he can make the brachas of shechionu and she'osa nisim. Now this seems to contradict slightly the MISHNA Berura. He wrote the MISHNA Berura in Sivkotten Beis. And in Sivkotten Beis he said, if he remembers after lighting, he shouldn't make the brachas anymore.
We shouldn't say shechianu.
Shouldn't say shechionu. And here he says one should say shechianu. Right? So machlokes and achronim. So machlokes is achronim. So Sivkotten Beis he brings the issue of Yaakov. Here he brings Rabbi Akiva Eiger, which is a machlokes. So the question is why he brought both. I had a quick look. I didn't manage to find an answer. I'm going to continue looking, because it's at the moment a bit contradictory. What should one do? If one didn't make the brachos at lighting, at least with shechionu, right? Can he make it afterwards or not? And we'll have to look for an answer for that. Sif Gimel. Let's move on. Back to Shulchan Aruch, Sif Gimel. Sif Gimel. Mishlo hidlik ve'inu osad lahadlik boisu halayla. If one didn't light, and he's not going to light that night, v'gam ein madlikin olav v'sich beizu. Also, they're not lighting for him at home. Okay. Remember that this mitzvah is different to many other mitzvahs. This is not like the bracha of there's not like lulav shofar where every individual has to light. Right? If everyone has to shake the lulav, hear the shofar, here it's a mitzvah in the house. If he's not there and his wife's lighting for him at home, he's done the mitzvah. It's fine. So here, no one's lighting for him at home. Right? He didn't light, he's not going to light that night, no one's lighting for him at home. Okay? Examples would be someone who was homeless. An example would be someone travelling on a flight overnight, travelling from America to England, and he's going to miss the night. Another direction, he might well make it because of the time difference. He's going to miss the night, and he's travelling with his wife, so they're both on the flight together. There's no one at home. Okay, so he's not going to light that night. He's going to miss the whole night. What should he do? There's something called Birkas HaGe'ir. Bracha on seeing the Ner Chanukah. When he sees a Ner Chanukah, when he sees, if he sees someone else's Ner Chanukah, he goes past an apartment, sees the Ner Chanukah, then he makes the bracha of She'osa Nisim. B'Belel Rishon b'Vakam Shechionu. The first night also makes Shechionu. B'Machar Kach B'Lel Sheni Oy Shlishi B'Ladlik Eino Choyzem V'Vach Shechionu. Then when the next night, when he does light the Chanukah lights, then he can't make Shechionu because he made it on the first night. Right? So the first night he's not lighting. No one's lighting from at home. He's not intending to light. Right? So then he makes a bracha on seeing the Ner Chanukah. He doesn't make lahadlik because he's not lighting. He'll make the second and the third brachas. Once he's made the third bracha, shechrionu, he's yotze. So he wouldn't make it again when he lights on the second or third light. He won't make shechrionu because he's already made it.
I didn't know there was a bracha on seeing. Does that have other implications? That is to say, let's say you're on your way home from work, and you pass a home that has a menorah lit, right? And you see the Ner. You haven't gotten home in time. You haven't gotten home yet. Right. You'll light when you get home. Would you make a bracha on that? Okay. So as we said, this is only osed lahadlik. He's not intending to light. If he is intending to light that night, then he should rather make it when he lights rather than when he sees it. And can he make the single bracha on seeing and another bracha on lighting when he gets home? No, you should rather make them all on. Talking about all three. You should rather make them all on lighting. You should rather make them all when he lights, not when he sees it. There are some, because of the machlokas sheshenim exactly when to make it, because there are some who hold that we should make the bracha when seeing it, as you asked. Therefore, we don't do it. But therefore, to be choishish for that, there's some people who are machmir to make sure not to see any other, not to see an Chanukah before they light the rain, so that they don't have this problem. So make sure they light theirs before seeing any others. But even if one did see it, he would not make the bracha. If he's intending to light later that night, he should not make the bracha when he sees another Chanukah. He should wait till he lights his way to make the bracha. It almost doesn't make sense, actually, because Hanukkah is unique in our desire for people to see the lights. We go to the trouble of put it in the window or even outside the door. That, in my home, I can't see my candles if I have them outside. I have no window facing where the candles are. Right? And there's such an emphasis on displaying the miracle, you would think that it's a priority to see it. Well, on the contrary, if it's imperfectly, the whole point is to publicize it. Persumei nisa, to publicize it for people, for everyone walking around. Therefore, this is why we have a mitzvah. We don't have it by other mitzvahs, this idea of birkus or iyah. You didn't do the mitzvah, you saw someone else doing the mitzvah, and you can make a bracha on it. Why is it? Because, as you said, the whole point of the Chanukah is to publicize it to everyone. Right. So you're part of everyone. You're part of the people walking along who see the Chanukah, which was lit for you. Right. It was lit for you to see. It was lit to publicize it to people walking through. So that's why you're making a bracha, because you're part of the mitzvah. The whole point is to publicize it for the people walking. Yeah. I'm saying that it makes perfect sense to make that bracha. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me because of the importance of publicizing the mitzvah, that it would nullify that I wouldn't make both brachas. On my way home, I would make the bracha. The truth is that there's a tremendous amount of joy for a person if you're walking home and you see menorahs in people's windows or at their front doors. It feels wonderful, right? And then when you get home, so you would want to make that bracha of seeing it, right? And then when you get home, there's actually another process of actually doing it. So it seems to me that it would make sense to be able to do both brachas. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But we don't.
Ideally, it's a package deal.
Right, so ideally one should make it on the lighting. The case of we pass in the halacha because it is only in a case where one didn't light and is not going to light.
And what he was speaking about, outside of his door, nobody would see. Because his door faces like a fence. So it definitely would make more sense to put it in the window than outside the door.
I put it at the fence. We learned last year, it's better to put it at the fence.
You have a gate going into the...
Yeah.
Oh, you put it at the gate?
I put it at the gate.
I was thinking about your door. Your actual door.
I light another menorah in the house.
Okay, let's move on. Where are we up to? We read Sifkim, we saw. We saw the MISHNA Berura? No, we didn't see the MISHNA Berura Sifkim. Sifkot Nei. Ve'eino osed lahadlik bois halayla, aval miyadlik achar kach lo yivarach harayah. This is what we discussed. If he's intending to light later, he should not make a bracha when he sees the candles. Kim diuch levarach achar kach al hadloka, since he can make the bracha later when he lights. Okay. Sifkot Vav v'gam ein madlikin v'chola. V'yesh poskim t'sov v'dafilu yodei shemayadikin alav b'veisoi. Kim dehu ba'atma ein madlik. וגם אין משתתף עם האחרים בפריט יסוך לברך על האיר. Some poskim hold that even if people are lighting for him at home, his wife's lighting for him at home, but he's not going to light that night, he should make a brachas ear. Also to make shechrionu. Because it's machlokes, one shouldn't do it. Sofik brachas lahaka. We don't pass him out to poskim, and therefore one should not make a bracha if someone's lighting for him at home. So if cotton zayin eine choyze v'chula.
That would be the same thing if you're a guest in someone's house.
So we're going to talk about that. A guest in someone's house, what to do. That's the next simon.
Pave the oil.
Yeah. So cotton zayin eine choyze v'chula. So here we're talking about where he made shechron on the first night when he saw Chanukah. On the second night he's lighting, he doesn't make shechron again because he's already made it. Mishum deloi birich to haloi birich emes machshane is because he made the bracha already the previous night when he saw the lights. Then be'esmo loi birich klal mishum desomach al ishtoi shemadlekes befeiso. If on the first night he didn't make shechron because he was relying on his wife. His wife lived at home. So he didn't make a brachas over here. We said if someone's lighting here at home, you don't make the brachas on sin and Chanukah. So now what about shechrionu? Does he have to make it on the second night? Chvima the muchach medivam mechaber dem ishtoi madleket olav tzich beiso choshev k'mo shidlik ba'atzmoi al kein bo b'leil sheni leveiso madlik einu tzorch avach b'ch shechrionu. He does not make shechrionu on the second night. His wife made it on the first night when she lit the neiros. Therefore, when he lights on the second night, he does not make shechrionu.